Are you tired of constantly pushing tasks to tomorrow? As an entrepreneur who's traveled the world and juggled multiple businesses, I've battled the procrastination beast and come out on top. And in today's video, I'm going to share my personal blueprint for transforming inaction into action, gaining crystal clear focus and harnessing a compelling vision that helps you overpower procrastination. So stick around to discover how to turn your someday into today in your business. My name is Darius Lukas, and I'm here to help you build a freedom business that not only gives you freedom, leverages AI tools, but is also connected to your ikigai, the reason for being. Inaction. So what is procrastination? So procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing tasks. It's a common behavior where individuals avoid doing a task that needs to be accomplished and instead engage in other activities that are less important or more enjoyable. So this is quite common for us entrepreneurs, business owners, freelancers, and anybody that works from home. And that's usually the case because we are the ones driving the ship. We are the ones in charge of our own time, our own will, and determination. You know, in those mornings where I'd wake up feeling groggy, feeling unwilling to get to my desk, not wanting to make that call, not wanting to have that decision made, or not knowing what decision to make, I'd often slip into this cycle of procrastination where I'd end up an hour on my phone just scrolling, or doing some sort of tedious and menial tasks, so just I wouldn't have to get to the main thing that I had to do that day. When you really look at the psychological dynamics of that moment where you are procrastinating, where you are unwilling, unwanting, dreading to get to your desk, or dreading to do that thing that you ought to do, or you're dreading to even go to the gym, or you're dreading to pick up a phone and call your mother, or whatever that is, you are choosing inaction. And it is extremely hard to go from inaction, the state of not doing, to the state of doing, to the state of energy. Because inaction is essentially void of energy. Action is full of energy. And there is a massive discrepancy. There's a massive gap between the two. So you need to find something to bridge inaction and action. How do you do that? In that moment where I am procrastinating, I only need to do one thing. I need to grab my journal, open the journal, and start writing. I have no rules for myself, what to write, how to write, what I need to accomplish within those pages. I just need to write. And usually I choose to write about what's happening within me, my thoughts, my ideas, my the mechanics of my procrastination. I tap into the feeling that I'm having in the very moment, but I'm not having a sort of goal placed on this journaling exercise in a sense of suddenly getting out of procrastination. But what I found to happen 99% of the time is that in journaling, you have chosen action. So you are already moving away from inaction. You're no longer scrolling, you're no longer fully delaying the action that you're really after. You are in the period of transition. And through journaling, you are able to tap into your mental resources of energy, of motivation. And so for you now to make that transition from this state of processing, the state of action, into the action that is desired, it's much easier a leap from this state. So nowadays, I'm very rarely caught up in procrastination for longer than 20-30 minutes because I have this tool where I move away from inaction through journaling action, stirring something up within myself, and moving on to the desired action that I have to take that day, that moment, that hour. Rhythm. So currently I'm on the road. I'm in Dubai. I'm moving on to my next stop in Asia. And for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna be pretty much living out of a suitcase. And what really happens when you travel is that you lose that sense of routine and the sense of regularity. So procrastination comes up as a haunting ghost over and over again. You may not be traveling the world, but something may happen within your business that suddenly the entire schedule is out of the window. For us entrepreneurs, it's so easy to get thrown off course that procrastination is then immediately right there above us. And whether your procrastination manifests through eating or scrolling or engaging in any other addictive behavior, I always feel that there is a way to mitigate the risks here. So now as I embark on this nomadic lifestyle, I wanted to put in certain safeguards in place that would ensure that, I wouldn't slip into the pitfalls of procrastination. And one word that encompasses all of that is rhythm. And to start with, it's personal rhythm. And that's why I have this Notion board, which I call a weekly workflow. And I have different categories for my different businesses and different projects, such as legal and finances and personal matters. And every Sunday or early on a Monday morning, I map out my week. So I know exactly what I have to do and accomplish that week. So I'm not trying to second guess myself. What is the next best thing for me to do? Where should I put my time, energy, and effort? I know exactly, according to those lists, what is my direction. And yes, a list alone does not prevent procrastination, but it certainly helps. Another important aspect of personal rhythm is to have a set routine. So it doesn't matter whether I'm in Dubai or I'm back in Portugal, I know exactly what I have to do. I know that I have to wake up and go to the gym. I know that I have to then go to a cafe and work for a couple of hours, get some stuff out of the way. Then I know that I'm going to be working from home. So everything has a certain sense of familiarity. And even though places and people change, I maintain that certain level of sanity. And after personal rhythm, what comes is a company rhythm. And for me, this is where I have set team calls with my team, certain check-ins on Slack, certain goals mapped out for that quarter, for that week, for that month, so that I know where we are headed. So I'm never left scrambling for what is the next project that we have to work on, neither personally nor within our team. On top of that, we have a yearly vision for the company, and I also have a personal yearly vision for myself. So I always have a trajectory mapped out, and I only have to use that as my North Star. And of course, in life, things change. Of course, things happen that you can't predict, especially when you travel, for example, or when things get overwhelming, or you may be having a personal loss in your family, or a divorce, or whatever, where things really get thrown out of the window and nothing is familiar and nothing is safe. And in those moments is the easiest to fall into the trappings of procrastination. And that's why you need your personal rhythm and your company rhythm. The antidote. So every single year, I enter with a very thorough vision of what I want that year to look like for me. I write about every single aspect of my life. I write about my health. I write about my wealth, my relationships, my travels, skills, and emotional learnings that I want to have in my life. I go very detailed on that whole vision. And I do the same with both of my teams. We sit down and map out exactly how our year, our financial, our projects are going to look like. Not only that we map that out, we also review what had happened the year before. So we become very clear on our trajectory. And the reason why we do that is not because, every business book tells you to not only plan out your year, but also have vision for your business and for your life. And yes, it works and it's great, but it also serves another purpose. It charges your business and your life with energy. And energy is obviously fuel for action, and it is the greatest antidote to procrastination. So when you get to moments in your year where things are not going your way, and even if you are procrastinating for that hour or for that day, you have a North Star that you can go back to and continue following. Because a lot of the time when I work with entrepreneurs and they share with me that they struggle with procrastination, and I'd ask them about their vision, they would look at me as if I was crazy. They'd go like, what a vision. I have these financial goals, but that's about it. And it's the first thing that we do. We charge their life with energy, with meaning, and with purpose. And then procrastination does happen, and it does arise because it's human, but it is 10 times easier to overcome it because yourself and your team members and everybody around you has this internal resource to combat procrastination. And believe me, it works, but you need to start from the ground up and understand and map out what your vision for yourself and for your business is. If you liked the video, don't forget to click like and subscribe and let me know what was your biggest takeaway. And also last week I talked about journaling and how I use journaling to scale my business. And to be honest, all those tools that I covered in that video are great tools to also help you overcome procrastination. So click above or below wherever the video is appearing and have a watch.